Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to discuss with you tips and tricks on how to be a successful college student when you are also a mom. So I am 30 years old and I am going to school to get my BSW in social work, so a bachelor's in social work, and I have 2 semesters left and it has been a long road. So a little bit of a backstory. I completed 2 semesters out of high school, and I don't really want to say 2 semesters because some of those credits weren't really the greatest, so I didn't transfer them over. You know, I want to have a positive GPA and those were not positive grades. So I decided to go back to school in 2016, and at the time my daughter was, I want to say 3. Yeah, 3. Anyway, doesn't matter. It was just a huge regret in my life to stop going to school. I was just really stressed out at the time, right out of high school, had no idea what I was doing with my life, and I decided to take a break. I told myself I was gonna go back, and we all know the story. 9 years later, I finally went back. So I just wanted to share that piece of my story because I know that it will help other moms out there. It doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how difficult you think it's going to be, if you're not the smartest person in the class, if you have to work 10 times harder, whatever it may be, whatever your circumstances, just know that you are capable of completing your degree. I have 2 semesters left and I know that I can do it. You know, it's like I can see that finish line, and I've never been more proud of myself in my whole life, you know, other than, you know, when I had my children. So with that being said, I would love to share some of my tips that I use to be successful in college. It's not easy having children and completing your degree at the same time. So I'm getting my phone out. Hold on guys, I wrote it down. Okay, tip number 1. I'm going to start out and be a little bit cheesy, but believe in yourself. It is very important that you believe in yourself because you are your strongest advocate. You are, I don't even know where to find the words, but if you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect other people to believe in you? You know, so just make sure that you are telling yourself that you are worth it. You can do this. You know, if you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning completing an assignment, you know, you're capable. You are capable of accomplishing anything. So just keep that in mind and keep rolling. Tip number 2. This was a tip I got from one of my old coworkers who was in grad school at the time and had and she has 2 children of her own, and so I asked her some tips on how she was successful in school, and she gave me the best tip ever, and that was to stick to a schedule. I know that sounds self-explanatory, but what I mean by that is when you are a parent, you never know what crap is going to be thrown your way. You know, you never know when your kid is going to get sick. You never know when some other responsibility is going to come up. You never know when you're going to have to pick your kid up from school because something happened, you know, whatever it is. Maybe there's a night where your kid doesn't want to sleep and you're up all night. You know, it literally could be anything. We all know as parents. And so for me, what has made me a successful student, this is the number 1 thing. I will write down what times I need to be completing homework assignments, and I will put down when an assignment is due, I will put it due in my planner like 2 days before it's actually due so that I can cross it off. Crossing it off makes me feel so good. It is so satisfying. But for me, I have to get my assignments done during those scheduled times. You know, if I don't do my assignments during the scheduled times, I will procrastinate, and then it'll be real stressful. So the times I get my homework assignments done are sometimes I will go to class an hour before, I'll stay an hour after just to work on assignments a little bit. I always work on assignments during nap times, and I work on assignments during bedtime as well. So those are prime times to be working on your assignments. So, you know, just do what works best for you, but stick to it and hold yourself accountable. Don't tell yourself, oh, well, the assignment's due on Friday, so I'll start it on Wednesday. You know, if you have time on Monday, just get the assignment done, or at least start it on Monday. I know that's far in advance, but like I said, you never know what's going to come up, and you can't talk to your instructor and say, hey, I'm sorry I wasn't able to get that done because my kid got sick, you know, because their response is going to be, well, you've known about it for a week. So, you know, unless you have nice instructors. I have a few of those. Always make a list of assignments that need to be done and when they need to be turned in. Like I mentioned this before, I love to write a list, put a box, I'm making a box, put a box next to it, and then when I'm done, I love to exit out. It is gratifying. So I suggest that. That was tip number 3. Tip number 4, try not to skip class. I know this, I feel like a lot of these are self-explanatory, but in your mind, sometimes you just want to skip class because, you know, it sounds so appealing. But for me, if I skip class, it is a little bit more difficult to get back into the routine of completing my assignments or whatever we're working on in class during that time. So I try not to skip class as much as possible. But there are times here and there that, you know, I have to do that for my own sanity, my own health. So, but yeah, try not to skip class. And if you do, just get right back into it. You know, you skip class one day doesn't mean you have to keep it going and skip class every single time. You know, just skip once. If you can do a makeup assignment or whatever it is, just ask. If not, then, you know, whatever. It's like a point, you know, it's not that big of a deal, but just try your best not to skip class. And if you do skip class, get right back into it. Tip number 5, let your instructor know that you are a dedicated student. Now, don't just walk up to them the first class and be like, hi, my name is Cassie and I'm a very dedicated student. What I mean by this is just, you know, showing them that you are actively listening in their class, you're turning all your assignments in, you know, if you're emailing them with questions, you've read the syllabus, you know, you're invested in the class. I have found that if my instructor knows that I am aware of all the assignments, I've done all my readings, you know, I've passed in all my assignments and I am invested in their class. If it does come up, they're more likely to help me rather than just brush me off. So just make sure that they know you're a dedicated student. Tip number 6 is get to know some of the other students in your class. Now, if you're like me, I'm not a big people person. I'm not gonna lie. So this is actually the first semester, well, kind of second. I took one class on campus last semester, but this is actually my first semester that I've taken more classes on campus. I'm actually taking 2 classes online right now and then 2 classes on campus. And it actually has helped me to get to know some of the students in my class, because a lot of my classmates we're all taking similar classes because we're all within the same major, the same cohort. And so it is really easy to just get their number. You can text them a quick question on an assignment, and you know, it just makes my life so much easier now that I just know who they are, and I don't have to stress over questions because I know that they can potentially answer those for me. So yeah, I suggest that just get to know people and be a little bit more social. And that is hard as a mom, because when I'm in class, you know, it's hard for me to shut off my mom brain and just know that my kids are safe without me there. Obviously, when I'm in class, you know, they're home with Dan, they're home with my husband, so I know that they're fine. But I mean, it is hard, you know. but just, you know, put yourself out there a little bit. Number 7, don't be afraid to ask for help. This was so hard for me when I was younger. I don't know why, but I don't know if it's because I was too shy or whatever. I mean, I've never been a super shy person, but yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help. So, you know, don't be too proud. You know, if there is something that you're struggling with, yeah, just get that help. I know that next semester I am gonna need a tutor for statistics. I am not a math person, and I'm not too proud. I will let anybody know that. So I need the extra help. And I'm willing to do what it takes to get that class completed because it's required. Tip number 8, please make time for yourself. Self-care is so important. I have let that go right out the window at times, and I know when I actually take some time for myself, you know, at nighttime, maybe catching up on a Netflix show, maybe doing a face mask, a workout, walking, getting some fresh air, going to get a coffee, whatever it is, make sure you're taking time for yourself because, you know, you can't pour from an empty cup. I know, I'm cheesy. But yeah, just take time for yourself. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope these tips help you out. They're not just for moms, they are for any college student, but you know, I'm a mom and I'm making mom content. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.